You ever sit in front of your screen, staring at the charts, and feel your stomach drop? That tight feeling, like a fist squeezing your chest? Your heart races, your hands sweat, and deep down, you know you're afraid. Afraid of losing, afraid of making the wrong move, afraid of what everyone else might think when your account shrinks. And here's the truth, that fear? It's normal. Every trader feels it. But here's the problem. Fear is not just an emotion, it's a silent killer of opportunities. And if you don't learn how to face it, it will eat your account alive. Let me ask you something. Have you ever watched a trade move in your favor, but you couldn't pull the trigger because your mind screamed, "What if it reverses?" Or worse, have you ever exited early missing the big profit because that voice in your head whispered, "Better safe than sorry"? If that's you, don't feel guilty. That's exactly why we're here today. Because I want to help you stop fearing the market and start trading like a pro, without needing to be fearless, without needing to predict every move, without needing some magic formula that only insiders know. Here's the first secret about fear in trading. It's a sign you care. Think about it. If you didn't care, you wouldn't feel scared. That fear means you want something. You want freedom. You want success. You want to prove that you can do this. But here's the trap. The very thing that drives you, your fear, can also stop you dead in your tracks. Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of a swimming pool. The water looks inviting. You know it will feel amazing once you dive in, but the thought of jumping makes your heart race. You hesitate. You overthink. You talk yourself out of it. And meanwhile, people around you are swimming, laughing, enjoying themselves, while you stay frozen at the edge. That's exactly what fear does in trading. So, how do we fix it? How do we step off the edge and dive in without drowning in our own doubt? Step 1. Shift your perspective on fear. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is a signal. It's your brain saying, "Pay attention." Your job is not to fight it, but to listen to it, and then act anyway. Because courage in trading is not the absence of fear, it's taking action despite the fear. Ask yourself this. What's worse, the sting of a small loss or the regret of never trying? Because let me tell you, the trader who never enters a trade is already losing every single day. Step 2. Focus on probabilities, not predictions. Most beginners think trading is like predicting the future. If I buy now, it has to go up. That's a trap. The market doesn't care about what you think. It moves on its own rules. The only thing you control is your strategy, your risk, and your mindset. Think of trading like a dice game. You don't know if you'll roll a 6. You don't know if the next trade will win. But if you make smart bets, bets with proper risk, proper size, and a plan, you don't need to predict the outcome. You just need to play the game the right way over and over again. And here's the kicker. Most traders fear the uncertainty. They want guarantees. But the market has none. It's like standing in the middle of a forest and demanding the trees tell you which path is safe. It won't happen. You have to learn to walk anyway, trusting your steps, learning from the terrain, adjusting as you go. Step 3. Start small, start now. You don't need to risk your life savings on one trade to overcome fear. Start with a small amount, a trade you can afford to lose. Because fear only shrinks when you take action and survive. Every trade you take, and survive, chips away at your fear. Ask yourself, how much longer will you let fear dictate your account? How many setups have you skipped because your mind whispered, "Not now"? And how many more profits are slipping through your fingers because of it? Here's a story. There was a trader, let's call him James. James spent months watching the market, learning strategies, studying charts. He knew exactly when the perfect setup appeared. But every time he tried to trade, he froze. One day, he finally forced himself to place a small trade. And guess what? He lost. Heartbreaking, right? Wrong. That small loss taught him more about his fear than months of watching charts ever could. The next week, he placed another trade. This time he made a small profit. His fear was still there, but smaller. Step by step, trade by trade, he chipped away at it. Within months, James was trading confidently, not because he had eliminated fear, but because he learned to act despite it. And that's what you need to understand. Fear will never disappear. The market will always scare you. But you can learn to dance with it. to use it as fuel instead of a cage. So here's a question for you. Are you ready to dance with fear? Or are you going to stay frozen at the edge, watching others swim past you? Here's the thing about fear. It's sneaky. It doesn't always show up as a pounding heart or sweaty palms. Sometimes it hides behind logic or caution. You tell yourself, I'll wait for the perfect setup, or the market looks too risky right now. But if you're honest, you know what's really happening. You're afraid. And here's the harsh truth. Perfection doesn't exist in trading. There's never a perfect setup. There's never a time when the market guarantees you a win. If you wait for perfection, you will never trade. You'll just sit there, watching, wishing, hoping, and watching opportunities slip through your fingers. Think of it like this. You're on a swing at the park. You can either pump your legs and go higher, or you can sit there, frozen, imagining what it would feel like. The swing will keep moving, the air will keep rushing by, but you'll stay on the ground. That's fear holding you back. Now, here's the good news. You can change that. You can train yourself to step forward even when your stomach is twisting into knots. But it requires a mindset shift, and it starts with one word: action. Ask yourself, how many trades have you skipped because you were waiting for confirmation? How many times have you let fear dictate your strategy? And how many of those trades went on to become winners without you? Be honest. Because the moment you face that truth, something changes. You either keep letting fear run your account, or you start taking control. Step 4. Detach from the outcome. This is huge. Most traders fear the market because they tie their emotions to every pip, every candle, every tick. They think, if this trade loses, I fail. If it wins, I'm smart. But trading isn't a judgment on your worth. It's a numbers game. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. The only thing that matters is sticking to your plan and managing risk. Imagine you're tossing a coin. You don't freak out if it lands tails. You don't scream at the coin or call yourself stupid. You just flip again. Trading works the same way. Lose a trade? Flip again. Keep your strategy intact. Adjust if needed. But never let the fear of one loss freeze you. Step 5. Visualize the fear before it happens. This is a trick pro traders use. Before entering a trade, imagine it going wrong. Picture yourself losing the money, seeing the red candle, feeling your heart sink, and then see yourself handling it calmly. Because when that moment actually comes, your brain says, "Oh, I've been here before. I know what to do." Here's a secret most beginners never hear. Fear shrinks when you embrace it, not avoid it. Pretend fear is a monster under your bed. You can either hide from it, letting it grow in the shadows, or you can turn on the light, look it straight in the eyes, and realize it's smaller than you thought. Step 6. Build confidence through preparation, not luck. Fear thrives on uncertainty. The less prepared you feel, the bigger your fear grows. But preparation, learning your strategy, understanding the market, practicing on small trades, shrinks fear. Confidence isn't about never losing. It's about knowing that when losses happen, you can survive them. You can recover. You can trade again. Ask yourself, do you want to be a trader who freezes every time the market breathes? Or do you want to be the trader who sees fear, nods, and says, I got this, and places the trade anyway? Let me tell you something else most traders never realize. Fear can actually be your ally. Think about it. Fear makes you cautious. It makes you double-check your trades. It makes you follow your plan instead of going reckless. The key is not to eliminate fear. It's to channel it. Turn that energy into focus, preparation, and action. Here's an analogy for you. Imagine fear is like the wind in a sailboat. You can either let it knock you over, letting it push you backward, or you can use it to propel you forward. Fear is the wind, action is the sail. And when you learn to set the sail correctly, you'll move faster than you ever thought possible. Step 7. Celebrate small wins. Every trade you take despite fear is a victory. Even if it loses. Even if it's small. Because each time, you're proving to yourself, I can act despite fear. I can handle the market. I'm learning. And each tiny win compounds, not just in profits, but in confidence. Ask yourself this. How many small wins have you ignored because you only focus on the big picture? Every trade you face your fear is a step closer to freedom, to skill, to a mindset that refuses to be controlled by panic. And here's the cliffhanger. Most traders never realize how much fear has been costing them. Not just money, but time, confidence, and opportunity. Imagine where you could be if you had started facing your fear a year ago. Imagine the growth, the profits, the confidence. And now, imagine starting today. Not tomorrow. Today. So now that we've talked about fear, the big question is, how do you actually trade despite it? Because mindset alone won't move your account. You need a system, a routine, and strategies that let you act with confidence. Step 8. Create a trading plan and stick to it. This is your shield against fear. A plan tells you exactly what to do, when to enter, when to exit, and how much to risk. Think of it like a GPS in a city you've never visited. Without it, you wander, second-guessing every turn, getting lost, and panic sets in. But with it, even if the streets are confusing, you know exactly where you're going. Ask yourself, do you have a plan, or are you trading like a tourist lost in a foreign city, hoping to stumble on success? Be honest. Because the difference between a frozen trader and a confident trader is not luck, it's preparation. Step 9. Practice discipline over emotion. Fear is strongest when emotions run wild. You see a red candle, your stomach drops, your mind screams, sell. But your plan says, hold. That's the moment that separates the pros from the amateurs. Discipline doesn't feel exciting. It's not glamorous. But it's the bridge from fear to profit. Think of it like riding a bike. The first few times, your legs shake, your hands tremble, your heart races. You're terrified of falling. But the more you ride, the more your body learns. Your brain stops overreacting, and fear becomes just a background whisper. Trading works the same way. Discipline trains you to keep pedaling, even when fear says stop. Step 10. Manage your risk like a pro. Fear grows when your trades feel dangerous. But if you know exactly how much you're risking on each trade, no more, no less, suddenly fear becomes manageable. Imagine walking a tightrope with a safety net. The rope is your strategy, the net is your risk management. You can still feel the thrill, but you're not paralyzed by it. Step 11. Visualize success and failure. Most traders only imagine winning trades. That's a trap. You need to visualize losses too, see them, feel them, accept them, and then see yourself handling them calmly. This mental rehearsal prepares your brain. When fear hits in real time, your mind doesn't freeze, you already know the steps to take. Step 12. Break the analysis paralysis cycle. Many traders fear the market because they overthink every detail. What if the trend reverses? What if news hits? What if I lose? So, overthinking is a fear amplifier. Instead, simplify. Focus on a few high-probability setups. Follow your plan. Take action. Remember, the perfect trade doesn't exist, but the right trade today does. Here's an analogy. Fear is like a shadow at night. The bigger you imagine it, the more paralyzed you feel. But if you shine a light on it, take action, you realize it's smaller than you thought. Step into the light, and suddenly, what felt terrifying is just a part of the world you can navigate. Step 13. Track your trades and emotions. This is critical. Fear shrinks when you see it on paper. Keep a journal of every trade. Why you entered, why you exited, how you felt, what you did right, what you did wrong. Over time, patterns emerge. You'll see that the fear that felt overwhelming is really just a habit, and habits can be changed. Ask yourself, how many times have you repeated the same fear-driven mistakes because you never recorded them? Every untracked trade is like walking blindfolded. Start tracking, start seeing clearly, and fear loses its power. Step 14. Surround yourself with the right influence. Fear feeds on doubt, rumors, and negativity. Stay away from traders who scream about big wins or doom. Find mentors, communities, or resources that reinforce discipline, focus, and courage. Think of it like training for a marathon. You wouldn't train alone in the dark, you'd follow a coach, a plan, a team. Trading works the same way. And here's the truth most traders never admit. The market isn't your enemy. Your fear is. The charts, the candlesticks, the news, they don't care about you. They just move. If you want to win, you need to control what you can control. Your mindset, your plan, your risk, your actions. Step 15. Celebrate acting despite fear. Every trade you take, every setup you follow, every time you step off the edge even when your heart races, it's progress. It doesn't matter if the trade wins or loses. Fear loses power every time you act. And over time, you'll notice something amazing. The more you act, the smaller fear feels, and the bigger your confidence grows. Ask yourself this: are you willing to keep letting fear dictate your account? Or are you ready to take control, step by step, trade by trade, win or lose? Because that choice is the real game. And here's a cliffhanger for you. Most traders never realize the real cost of fear. It's not just lost money. It's lost time, lost confidence, and lost potential. Imagine where you could be 6 months from now if you started trading despite fear today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Step 16. Use fear as a signal, not a stop sign. Every time you feel that tight knot in your chest, don't run from it. Ask yourself, what is this fear trying to tell me? Am I rushing? Am I overexposing myself? Am I unprepared? Fear is your inner warning system. It's like a dashboard light on a car. It doesn't mean stop driving. It means pay attention, adjust, and keep moving. Step 17. Break fear into tiny steps. You don't conquer fear all at once. You chip away at it trade by trade, step by step. Place a micro trade. Survive it. Review it. Then take a slightly bigger one. Slowly, fear becomes manageable. Confidence grows. Action becomes natural. Think of it like climbing a mountain. You don't jump to the top, you take it one step at a time. Each step is progress. Each breath is practice. And each fear you face is a rock that helps you climb higher. Step 18. Anchor yourself in process, not outcome. Stop obsessing over profits or losses. Obsess over your plan, your risk management, your discipline. Outcome is a byproduct. Process is power. Let the market do what it will. Your job is to stick to the system and trade like a professional. Step 19. Train your mind like an athlete trains their body. Top athletes don't just rely on talent. They rehearse, visualize, and condition themselves. You must do the same. Visualize your trades. Visualize losing a trade calmly. Visualize acting despite fear. The more you train your brain, the more natural it becomes. Fear starts shrinking because your mind knows what to do. Step 20. Recognize the false friends in trading. Fear hides behind advice, opinions, and analysis paralysis. The worst enemy is listening to too many voices. You'll see people online screaming buy. So, don't do this. But you know better. Focus on your plan, your strategy, your trades. Fear is amplified when you let chaos control your decisions. Step 21. Embrace discomfort. Here's a truth most traders ignore. The market is uncomfortable. The swings, the losses, the red candles, they're part of the game. Trying to trade only when it feels safe is a fool's game. Real growth happens when you step into the discomfort, trade anyway, and learn from it. Ask yourself, are you avoiding trades because they feel scary, or are you trading to grow despite the fear? Which trader do you want to be? Safe and stagnant, or uncomfortable and growing? Step 22. Celebrate fear as a sign you're alive in the market. Every trader feels it. Every trader battles it. The difference is action. Fear is not weakness. It's proof that you care, that you're learning, that you're human. And acting despite it, that's strength. That's what separates amateurs from pros. Now, imagine this scenario. You step into a trade, your hands shake, your stomach twists, your brain screams. But this time, you follow your plan. You manage risk. You take the trade. And whether it wins or loses, you survive. You learn. You grow. And the next time fear shows up, it's a little weaker. A little smaller. Until eventually, fear no longer rules your trading decisions. It fuels them. Step 23. The compounding power of small actions. Every time you act despite fear, you build confidence. Every journaled trade, every analyzed mistake, every controlled risk, it compounds. Just like money compounds in an account, courage compounds in your mind. One day, you look back, and the trader who trembled at every candle is now the trader who takes action without hesitation. Ask yourself this: how many opportunities have slipped through your fingers because fear whispered, "Wait"? And how much closer could you be to financial freedom, confidence, and skill if you acted despite it? Here's the reality: the market doesn't wait. Opportunities don't wait. Your account doesn't grow while you sit frozen. Fear is the barrier. Action is the bridge. And the bridge is just one step away. So here's my challenge to you. Take one action today. One trade, one setup, one micro step. Act despite fear. Journal it. Review it. Celebrate it. Because that's how you build momentum. That's how you turn fear into fuel. That's how you become a trader who doesn't just watch the market, who trades it with confidence, control, and courage. And before we end, I want you to reflect on 3 questions. How many trades have you skipped because fear whispered, "Wait"? What would happen if you started taking action despite that fear today? Are you ready to stop letting fear control your account and start letting action control your results? Here's the final truth: fear never goes away. But traders who succeed don't need to be fearless. They need to be brave enough to act. They need to be disciplined enough to follow their plan. They need to be consistent enough to trade, review, and improve. So today, take the step. Step into the fear. Step onto the bridge. And start trading like you were meant to trade. If this video helped you see fear differently, do 3 things right now. Like this video if you're ready to act despite fear. Comment below one fear that's been holding you back, and tell yourself you will face it. And subscribe, so you never miss a lesson that can turn your fear into fuel and your trades into confidence. The market is waiting. Fear is there. But you have the power to trade anyway. Step into it.